Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video today, I'll be analyzing all of the different sheets used and captured in the Watts case. You may see or hear things that you've yet to hear, so stay tuned. Now for starters, we've all seen the one shadow under Chris Watts' work truck the morning he dumped his family at the oil site on August 13, 2018. So it's possible one of the girls was alive and one was not. But we also know his mistress told a shocking allegation, which NK spoke to Loverboy Chris that same night, and he told her that the kids' sheets smelled. She was confused by this because he kept the house so clean. And here's what she said.
He made the comment directly after that. He said, I had to wash the kids' sheets. He was like, they smelled. And I was thinking about that last night, and I'm like, this man keeps that house so clean. That's like the cleanest house I've ever seen. And I'm like, this man keeps that house so clean. Why would his kids' sheets smell bad?
Do you think that's smelly?
They smell.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's get back to that, because I feel like you and me are kind of getting off track.
Yep.
So go to that first long phone call on Monday night was, I think when he told me that, I don't think he told me that in the FaceTime text. I mean, in the FaceTime conversation, I think he told me that in the first conversation, where he was like, their sheets smell. And I remember thinking to myself, like, why? Like, you keep such a clean house. Like, why would your kids' sheets stink? And, like, it just didn't really click.
Did you confront him?
What's up?
Did you confront him why the sheets smelled, or did you inquire why?
No, I didn't even ask.
Do you know his children were quite young, and I think one of them was still in diapers. Would have that been a potential reason, that one of them had an accident, or did it seem like that's not what he was talking about?
I don't know. I mean, he didn't elaborate.
Okay.
He was just like I said, he always cleans the house, but even if his kids were to be in diapers and, have accidents, I just feel like the man keeps his house so clean, and she does too. They both must have to coexist in a house that clean. But, I just don't see anything in the house, smelling.
Okay. All right.
So that was why I brought that up, because I was like, whoa. Okay.
Very important. Thanks for remembering that.
So as we use common sense, really the only reason they would smell would be from their bodies decomposing and possible body fluids being released. But first, I want to point out a couple of things I found. Now we know when the police first got to the Watts house, there were no sheets on their king bed. This photo was when they seized everything in their home after he confessed on August 15th, 2018. Now, Chris slept on the left side and Shanann on the right. You can see the blanket pulled down where he slept alone that first night on the 13th. When you zoom in to the area that's pulled down, there are some red spots, which could have been there for a while or from the night he annihilated his family. Also, in that same photo zoomed in on Shanann's side, pieces of wood seem to be chipped away, where it looks like someone may have had their foot there, possibly strangling her. You can also notice there's no bed skirt on the spring mattress, which we'll talk about later in another interesting tidbit, which would tie this together. Also, next to the chipped wood is some type of stain on the spring mattress. Now, moving forward, police found some of the sheets in their kitchen trash cans, because this man is a pure genius. He admitted he wrapped Shanann in the fitted sheet, which was the only one missing at the time. It says, I asked Chris why there was sheets inside his kitchen trash can. Chris said he used the fitted sheet to wrap up Shanann found at the oil well site. So he didn't know what to do with the flat sheet and the pillowcases that were left over. I asked Chris why he didn't try to hide the sheet at the oil well site, and he said he was so scared he didn't know what to do. Special Agent Coder asked Chris if someone came up on him, and he said no. Chris said he knew his co-workers were on their way out to the well site. And this is how far away the fitted sheet was from the oil tanks. Now, common sense tells me the wind did not blow it there, being how heavy a king fitted sheet would be. So he must have placed it there himself after dumping his wife inside her tiny grave he so thoughtfully dug for her, or at least someone dug for her. And again, being the genius he is, didn't put it in the grave with her to not only hide this huge red flagged evidence, but he left her by her lonesome with his unborn child about to be expelled from her lifeless body. If we zoom in on this photo from the drone footage, you can actually see a lizard just hanging out on the sheet. Now we can examine the fitted sheet that they held up, and with it darkened, you can see the markings of exactly how his bitch ass dragged her. Here you can actually see the drag marks on the outside of the sheet where it probably snagged the fabric, dragging her to his work truck on the concrete. Drag marks where her bottom was, and then at the top where her head was. All of the brown marks is from dragging her through the dirt at the oil site. You can see exactly where her butt and legs were from the discolored creases. She was only wearing a thong, so that's why it's so visible. The line in the middle is from her spine, and the top is the gap from her neck. Moving along to the sheets in the trash, they have noted pillowcases with stains and a flat sheet, in quotes. But police got that wrong, because this is the skirt to the bed, not the flat sheet, which I would think is vital evidence, because remember, the bed didn't have the skirt on, which means they never found the actual flat sheet to the bed. So along with all the other questions that we have on this case, now we recognize that there is a missing flat sheet. Or maybe someone took it to their house as a souvenir, wink wink. Now we'll get into what I found on this skirt in a minute, but this moron really thought he was going to get away with this, leaving so much evidence at both crime scenes. I've spoken about this in an older video and demonstrated what I thought happened on these pillowcases, and I'll add another possibility that these stains could be from her eyebrow makeup, because I do believe he was a coward and strangled her from behind with her face in the pillow. Or my original thought was this was from somebody's bottom after defecation. Remember the smelly sheets? So this bear toy was my demonstrator, and I added Nutella to the bear's bottom, folding his legs up, letting it stain through. And we have a similar marking to the pillowcase. So we know there was one shadow. Now the stains leads us to believe it may have been from one of the girls. Celeste was in a pull-up diaper after they retrieved her body from the oil tank. So either it was her and she didn't have one on at the time, or it could have been Bella. Or Chris did mention Shanann defecated, so it could have been hers. Now the reason it could be from her eyebrows is because of the rest of the evidence around the markings, which is glitter and eyelashes, which would make sense if he cowardly strangled her from behind. Now, the other thing I noticed, which can only be seen from a police body cam, the day they were searching for his missing family, August 13, 2018. I took some still shots from the body cam. This is Bella's bed. You can see the blanket is pulled down, as if she just jumped out of bed. But notice how concaved the bed is, as if he put so much pressure on her as he smothered her. And her toy kitty is upside down. I can only assume this is the animated cat from the Discovery that is mentioned.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here. Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds and I start to go panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do any of this because I haven't shed a tear.
No, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't look into that like I don't love my kids.
Tell me,
I love my wife.
explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her.
Yeah.
But you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls.
I'm hoping they're still around. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
Yeah, but you
alive.
don't have them right now. You're not reading stories to them at night.
I know.
You're not giving them midnight snacks. You're not giving them their medicine. You're not waking up with them in the morning.
I know this.
So that should cause you pain.
It does cause me pain.
But I don't see that. I don't see that. I want to see the Chris that cares. I want to see the Chris that, feels bad about what he did and wants to, get this off his chest and be done with this. And let us find your little girls so that they're not out there in the middle of a field or whatever somewhere. Like, don't do that.
I love those girls to death.
Then show us that. Show us that. Show us this Chris, not this Chris.
I'm not showing you that. I'm showing you the Chris that cares about his girls and his wife. Just because I haven't shed a tear shouldn't make you feel like that the love isn't there for them.
It's weird. It doesn't make sense to me.
I understand that.
You have to...
I totally see where you're coming from. Trust me, there's nothing... just because
Chris, people can be pushed to the point where they do something that they regret. It happens every single day.
I know.
But part of what makes you a man is the guy that goes, I really fucked up, but this is what I did, and I'm going to pay for what I did, and I'm going to tell you what I did, and I'm going to be honest about it.
Now, back to the bed skirt. There is no mention of this since they didn't do a very good investigation with this case. To me, this looks like a footprint. And remember the stain and chips on the side of Shanann's bed? So his feet seem to tell a very good story on what happened, since he's incapable of telling the truth. Keep a lookout for another video I'll be making with this footprints evidence. And then we have the coroner's white sheet they took from Shanann and baby Nico after exhuming her body.
Much of that in the bag. Yeah. So this was going to be the worst one, smell-wise.
So that one's the one that needs to go by itself?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can just drape it over this bar.
Yeah, let me see. Hopefully this can put it along. I didn't know there was this much dirt on it.
Want a separate bag for the dirt?
No, I'll just throw it on this one. Doesn't matter.
Or do you need help with?
Let's see. Yeah, just hold the bag, make sure it gets on there. Alright, that should be good enough. There we go. squeeze though. Okay.
I think that's what will happen then. I'll let you do the graping.
You guys have hangers in that one too? Okay. As good as that one's gonna get.